May you live in interesting times. Seems like nobody's really completely sure where that saying came from, but most people say it's an old Chinese curse, and it would be consistent with the ubiquitous risk aversion you find in Chinese society. But in any event, we do indeed live in interesting times. If you had told me, even 5 years ago probably, that I would be talking about a potential government shutdown of a social media platform, I would have told you you were out of your mind. But things have changed. For those of you who are skeptical that something like this should even be discussed, let me put it to you this way. Would you be okay with foreign agents coming into our schools and disseminating their state's propaganda to our children? Because without a doubt, that is what is happening with TikTok. In fact, I'd argue the messages being conveyed on TikTok are much worse because they are hidden. In a classroom, at least, we would be able to identify and debunk the messages being delivered. In many cases on TikTok, these messages are woven skillfully into seemingly harmless shorts and memes, and to many people become the de facto news upon which they base their political opinions. Now, to be clear, this is happening on many other social platforms as well. But when a foreign government effectively owns, operates, and controls a communications vehicle that has regular, unfettered access to American minds, that should at least, I think, give you pause. There's a substantial difference between TikTok and Instagram, for example. Instagram is owned by Meta Platforms, formerly Facebook, which is based in the United States. It is subject to U.S. laws related to, for example, election interference or child pornography. TikTok argues that it has set up a firewall between the company and the CCP to prevent any possibility of government interference. Anyone who believes this knows absolutely nothing about the way things work in China. The CCP has direct control over every single company operating in China. That's not to say that they're involved in day-to-day operations, but should any company operating in China do anything that the CCP disagrees with, there will be quick and decisive retribution. To think that this is not the same with TikTok is to be completely delusional. Recently, TikTok owner ByteDance moved some of the operations to Singapore and claims now that it is in the process of using servers in the United States and elsewhere. Again, these are meaningless and transparent efforts to hide the fact that TikTok is completely under the control of the CCP. The majority owners in TikTok are Chinese citizens with families and other businesses in China. This makes them completely subservient to the CCP. Now, I'm a brand of libertarian known as a minarchist, which means I believe that government is necessary, but should be confined strictly to ensuring defense, security, and criminal justice. And I'll admit freely that alleged concerns over security are a common tactic for totalitarian regimes to usurp the freedoms of their people. But like I said before, times have changed. The greatest threats to our way of life are not necessarily from bombs and guns and tanks anymore. Communications methods have changed to the point where I'm not at all sure that we can dismiss security concerns when a hostile foreign government has covert access to the minds of our children and our population in general. I'm not 100% sold on the fact that we should ban TikTok, but I'm no longer sure. Now, ideally, we as parents would monitor and control our children's access to this kind of content. So we, not the CCP algorithm, were formulating the messages they were receiving. That's what we do here. But that, unfortunately, is not a realistic goal in today's deeply flawed American society. So what do? Nothing no longer seems like the right answer.